Mind Candy.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Mind Candy. I'm your host, Bono the Original. Hey guys, it's been a while since I've put out a podcast. This is podcast 009, but I just wanted to engage you today with some fruitful advice. Okay guys, I know there are a lot of crazy shit that is going on in our country today. So what are we supposed to do? What's happening? What are we supposed to do and how are we supposed to deal with this shit that's going on? Okay? There are a lot of angry people. There are a lot of hurt people. There are a lot of people that I believe are going to get hurt. How do we engage with each other that's going to not get us distracted from the shit that's going on in the new administration? Okay? First of all, let me just say that no matter how you slice it, no matter how you put it, at the end of the day, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Okay? I don't give a shit if you're upset. I don't give you a shit if you are for him or if you're against him. He is the president of the United States. Now that we have that, patent, okay? There are a lot of crazy shit that's happening with all the executive orders and shit that's going on with all these policies that he's putting out there. The main thing that's hurting a lot of people right now is this attack or what I would call a war on immigrants, a war on immigrants. The problem that's happening right now with Donald Trump is the fact that he doesn't really understand the validity and the notion of our nation's history, right? He doesn't understand what makes America actually continues to make America great. He doesn't understand what has made America great from what it used to be, okay? We are in a time right now where there are a lot of people that are lost. We have Americans going against American. We have a virtual civil war. We have a mental civil war, okay? We have civil war amongst ourselves being divided, and a lot of people wants to blame this on the freaking media. It's not the fucking media. That's just a scapegoat. We're using the media as a scapegoat. This is literally a policy placed upon us. These policies that are happening are placed upon us by the President of the United States and his executive cabinets. Okay? So this is not a media fault. This is not, media is misconstruing his words. Media is doing this. There's a lot of bullshit out there that's saying that media. The media is not doing anything other than fucking questioning what's happening with this individual. But no, I'm not going to digress today. What I want to actually kind of speak to you guys about is giving you advice or giving you considerations of how to protect yourself from going mad and going crazy when you're dealing with the opposition in terms of in terms of arguing or making a point or making a stand for yourself. Guys, you have to understand, you're not going to change anybody's mind. I'm a liberal. I don't know what you are. I'm not trying to change your mind or anything like that, but the one thing you have to realize is that Donald Trump and his supporters, they won. Okay? If you're a liberal, if you're progressive, whatever you may think you are, okay, whatever opposition you may think you have against Donald Trump, we fail to protect. If you really think about this, we failed to protect the integrity of this nation. We failed to protect the integrity of the United States. As liberals, we failed to protect what we have worked so hard for not just in the past 8 years, but primarily in the past 50 years, when women couldn't vote. Okay, when segregation was prominent, okay, when racism was prominent, we have allowed ourselves to regress back into a situation that we have crawled out of, we have fought out of, we have died for. We have let ourselves go back. Now, what I can say to you, us, and to my audience today is that this Donald Trump presidency is really, I believe, a wake-up call. Okay? It is a wake-up call to say, do we really, or are we really ready to let progressive thinking, logic, science, all the things that make us great, make this country great, are we ready to let that shit go? That's what you really have to think about. And this is what you really have to put your mind to. Are we ready to let everything that we have worked for, desegregation, civil rights, women's suffrage, all those things that have made America great for the past 20, 30, 40 years, the things that we've slowly but surely have accomplished to continue to make America great, are we ready to let that shit go? Because what I believe is that, and what I know is that, I'm not ready to regress back into a nation that doesn't respect black people, that doesn't respect immigrants, that doesn't respect Asian Americans. That I'm not ready to go back into. I'm not ready to go back to having attainment camps for Asians. I'm not ready to go back to where women are considered less than men. I'm not ready to go back or give into the notion where African Americans consider 3/4 of a human being, right? I'm not. And so the problem is, we're over here, liberals, we're over here being apologetic for shit that we shouldn't be apologetic for. We're too busy worrying about our feelings rather than fighting to protect the things that we have fought for in the past that has gotten us where we need to be. Think about that. We are too busy protecting people's feelings rather than actually fighting to protect the things that have gotten us to where we need to be. And that is the problem. Our feelings as liberals are fucking hurt all the time. And it shouldn't be. It is time that we literally pay attention to the shit that's happening. We allowed Donald Trump to be our president. And now you want to tell me that you're upset. Remember the time that all the other Bernie or bust people that wouldn't vote for Hillary because you couldn't get yourself to vote for Hillary because she's not whatever. But instead of voting for Hillary, because even though Bernie Sanders did not have a chance of winning, instead of voting for Hillary, you did not vote at all. Right? You did not vote at all, or you voted for a third-party candidate that didn't have a chance of winning. And look what has happened. Now you are upset. Now you are mad. Now you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself. The problem is, we have fucked up and we have let go of something great that we have, and now we're seeing how bad we can't let it go. So here's the deal, guys. And this is it's crazy what's happening in our country right now. The fact that there are a lot of people that are supporting Donald Trump, and that's fine. It is their right. It is their prerogative to believe and support the things that they need to believe. That is their God-given rights, and that is their constitutional rights for all terms and purposes, right? But the thing is, what we as progressives, and I consider myself to be a progressive or as a liberal, what we have to remember is that what has happened in this country right now is our fault. Is our fault. And there's no way, there's no reason to sugarcoat it. There's no reason for that, because there are things that we have allowed to slip through our hands. We have allowed Donald Trump to come into the political system and shake it up. You know what? What I actually believe, I think this is actually a good thing. Not to say that I agree with his policies, because I really don't, right? But this can be a good thing for some. You know, there may actually be people it's kind of hard to me. It is a good thing in a sense that we now have our eyes open. Okay, liberals, think about this. We took a lot of shit for granted. We thought that we have gone so past the threshold of indecency that we forgot that we're only 50 to 60 years past those things. And we're not even really past them yet. There is still rampant racism in our country. There is still rampant sexism in our country. Okay? There is still rampant xenophobia in our country. We have not gotten past. It's literally, think about it. It's literally only has been 50 years. Around 50 years since women couldn't vote, since there was segregation in certain places in the United States, right? Where humans couldn't, not everybody in the United States could have had the opportunity to have health care if they wanted, okay? Women equal pay was something of the past. We have worked gay rights, think about that. People being able to marry who they want to marry or who they want to be with. What we have done, we have taken the shit that our past ancestors and our past generations have worked their asses off, and we have taken it for granted because we have become this nation of spoiled fucking brats. That's all we have become. We have become a nation of spoiled brats that want everything and everybody to win. Well, guys, you have to remember, life doesn't work that way. And so now we have allowed this president, Donald Trump, to come in here and shake things up. It could be for the good, but I also see it as it's also going to be bad. It's also going to hurt a lot of people. There are a lot of people right now who are hurt emotionally, but that's not even the hurt I'm talking about. The hurt that I'm talking about are deaths, okay? There are going to be a lot of people that Donald Trump is putting in the eyes of danger. Okay, think about all your fellow Americans who are overseas, and I'm not even just talking about the soldiers that are overseas. Think about all the American folks who are taking vacations overseas right now. Think about how they are going to be treated because of the policy that their countries are putting out, that their country, the United States of America, is putting out right now. Think about all the radical individuals that are being radicalized by the policies that we are putting our country is putting forth right now. Think about Think about the Muslim community, who are peaceful, loving people. The majority more than the majority of that religion, who are just on the cusp. That young 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 20-year-old, 18-year-old. They're on the cuffs of being radicalized because they're seeing how the United States is treating themselves, who are U.S. citizens, right? How they're being treated by their own country. Think about that. We as progressives and liberals have allowed ourselves to go into our own cocoon where everybody wins, everybody get a fucking trophy. We're so worried about getting our feelings hurt that we forgot the most important things. Right? Protecting our civil liberties. We have taken those things for granted because we didn't get our way with Bernie Sanders, and so therefore we didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, and look where the fuck we are at right now. And now you want to fucking go on the street and protest. Now you want to cry about shit. Great. I'm glad you finally realize that you have rights. I'm glad you finally realized that you can't get your way, and so now you can't always get your way, and so you're going to fight. You're actually going to fight now to get your way. And that's good. You're going to fight because now you understand that the things that you took for granted, you don't really want to let go. Right? You don't really want to let go. But you let it go. We let it go. Because we wanted to be spoiled brats, because we decided to sit our asses at home and let this individual take place. So here's my advice to everyone out there who's listening. Find your voice, okay? Find your purpose and engage the audience, the people, your friends, your family. Engage them with your purpose. You're not here to change people's minds, okay? Because if that is your overall goal, is to go out there and change minds, you are obviously already setting yourself up for failure, okay? What you need to do, and here's your approach, and I'm saying you need to do this, but really you don't have to. But this is just a simple advice. Your approach to this situation that we are in right now is to lead by example. Lead with love, lead with kindness, lead with civility. Teach those who don't see the light, show them the way. Sounds like I'm singing a song right now, right? But for real, show them the way. There are a lot of people who are supporting Donald Trump who really don't understand the validity of the situation, who don't understand the danger of the situation. Because none of these folks in the United States have actually really in modern history right now has really actually experienced war. They have not experienced the things like what the Syrians are going through. Okay? They have not. They have not seen kids with AK-47 shoot other kids. They have not seen their house, their neighbor's homes being bombed and having to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and pack what they can pack to move to the next station, to move to the next checkpoint. They have not seen that. Our country today is very spoiled and we take shit for granted. And this is on both sides, right? So we have all these people who are supporting Donald Trump and thinking that he's protecting our country. Remember when 9/11 happened and how we were so eager to give away most of our rights as far as being spied on, being spied on and taking some of our civil liberties away, where we were, being checked at checkpoints, where we're being violated, where when we go through these through the airport, we're being violated, being detained, right? That's what's happening in our country now. We are being manipulated with fear mongering to believe in the propaganda by, this administration. But folks, here's what you can do. Find your purpose, whether it's making podcasts, whether it's writing songs or public speaking, whatever you need to do, whether it's volunteering, protesting in a civil manner, whatever you need to do to engage an audience and build a following, do that. Okay? But what I don't advise you to do is go on Facebook and bitch about it. I don't advise you to go on Facebook and bitch about it. Don't bitch about it. Be about it. Go out there and engage. Next time in 2020, vote with your conscience. Don't be stupid. Protect the civil liberties that we have fought for in this country. Protect the civil rights that we have fought for in this country. Protect the women's rights that we have fought for in this country. Protect the rights that the Constitution guarantee each and every one of us, right? And not let fear come into play to take away those things that are very dear to us in our fabric of our country. Guys, I'm not here to rant on about shit that doesn't matter to you. If it doesn't matter to you, you don't have to listen to this. But guys, there are things that we can be doing, and there's things that we could have done, which is the past now, which we have to look forward to now. There are things that we can continue to do to oppose certain policies and certain things that our nation does not need. We are a nation of progressive individuals. All right? It's not conservative minds that got us here today. Nobody can argue that. It wasn't being afraid to go to the moon and being conservative and say, "Oh, we can't do that." That got us here. It was thoughtful, bold, engaging minds who got us to the place that we are here, that we are at today in this country. It was progressive logic, liberal thinking that got us where we are today. And if we're willing to let those things go, then we might as well be willing to give up every freedom and just let whatever dictator comes in and make their reign. That's it. So engage your audience, find your audience, go out there, get off Facebook, Well, if you're going to be on Facebook, put some meaningful shit on Facebook. But don't just sit there and argue just to argue and make yourself go mad. You will go crazy. Engage people with with a civil manner, respect, and dignity. Don't throw out insults. Nobody listens to people who throw out insults. If you're gonna engage people, engage them with meaningful, fruitful ideas. Okay, things that will get people thinking, that will get their minds working again. Don't approach the situation because you want to change their minds. You will never change people's minds. People's minds only change when they want it to change. Remember that. People's minds only change when they want it to change. Only they can change their own minds. All you can do is get them to consider. That's it. So guys, with all due respect, thank you for listening to another episode of Mind Candy. I will talk to you guys very soon. Hey, I actually will be back with another episode next week of episode 10, 0010. I don't know what that topic's going to be, but it's just whatever I'm feeling to talk about that day. But stay tuned for another episode. Thank you for listening, guys. Remember, engage people. Don't try to change their mind. Just get them to consider. You've been listening to Mind Candy.